Hello and welcome to FountainFX on Friday the 26th of June 2015. Sorry about last week, I did have a bit of man flu, as they say, so you wouldn't have heard much from me other than a very deep husky voice and a lot of sniffing. So basically I thought it's better for me to give it a break. And anyway, this week, just coming back to you just to share something about obviously the Greeks and what's going on out there. It seems to be something that's dragging on consistently. I mean, the Greek problem's been going on for over 5 years now. Back in 2011, they thought that was it. It was the end of the euro. The euro was going to break apart. The Greeks were definitely going to leave, and we were going to be seeing Europe going back to the mark, the franc, and the lira, etc. But it hasn't happened, and the Greeks are still hanging in there. But one thing to note is that the easiest thing when it comes to trading is trade what you see, not what everybody else says is happening. Okay, if we look here, this particular, I'm on various different bulletins and stuff like that. I keep my I just keep an input on what other people are saying. But what I want to share with you is that this particular commentator has shared something on the Greek rejecting a 5-month extension, and it's something to do with power plays and all the rest of it going on in Greece. But basically, they still have to pay pay back the money kind of thing. It sounds a bit like Greece sounds a bit like Zuma, but despite that, they still have to pay back the money. They are in debt to the tune of almost $250 billion, and they need to make a payment of like $1.5 billion in order to show good faith that the fact is they're going to pay off the rest of the $250 billion. So puts our sort of kind of personal debt situation into a small change, really, doesn't it? Anyway, so that was talking about that really gave no real clarity on what's happening. But the one thing that this particular commentator shared about, which was to do with, if we go down here, which is to do with the Royal Bank of Australia and the Bank of New Zealand, okay, and about what's happening there. And it talks about the Kiwi and the Aussie and that they were surging, and then this week there was a collapse in it. Well, the reality is go and have a look at the charts, and that's what we're going to do just now. So taking a look at the actual currencies, rather than listening to commentators and speculation about it, this is the pound against the Australian dollar on a 4-hour chart. What can we see about price? Is price going up or is it going down? If the price on the pound is going up against the Australian dollar, then is the Australian dollar weak or is it strong? Well, it's very clearly weak because the pound is gaining against the Australian dollar. There's no strength in the Australian dollar. But the pundit was saying the Australian dollar is gaining strength because everyone's putting their money into the Australian dollar. Clearly they're not. Let's go and have a look at what we can see on the New Zealand dollar. Now we flick over here. This is the daily chart now on the New Zealand dollar. Is the New Zealand dollar going down or is it going up? This is the New Zealand against the US dollar. It's clearly going down, which means what? The New Zealand dollar is showing weakness, not strength. So why is this pundit turning around telling us that we should be putting our money into the New Zealand dollar and the Aussie dollar? It seems ludicrous, doesn't it? Anyway, so that's it. Don't necessarily listen to pundits. Take a look at the charts, learn how to read them for yourself, and take advantage of the market rather than listen to news and gossip that's out there. Look at the reality of what's going on in the world. And then, similar thing, let's go and see what's happening to the euro because of Greece, and see what's exactly unfolded this week, where supposedly Greece has sorted themselves out, but have they really? Let's go and see what the euro's got to show us about that. And as you see here, looking at the euro, yes, the price was rallying quite nicely, but at the beginning of the week, or the end of last week in fact, it hit this smack bang into this wall, this area of resistance. And basically Monday, the euro collapsed, and then after Monday, it's just been doing this, range bound, spiking up and down. This kind of performance, you do not want to be trading in this kind of marketplace here, because it whips up and down and it takes your money and it chops your account to pieces. You buy at support, sell at resistance, vice versa. But guess what? Support and resistance keeps changing. You get it spikes through, then turns and goes the other way, and vice versa. If you look here, it suddenly decided to sell off on Friday and push to a lower low. So guess what? If you were buying there, you'd have been taken out, and what did it do? It didn't carry on going down, it just turned and pushed back up again. So very much indecisive, difficult to trade, choppy market. At the beginning of the week, we saw the collapse. Great, fantastic. Some of our traders in our WhatsApp group took advantage of that. And if you want to join the WhatsApp group, just send me an email, Steve or support at FountainFX.co.za, and we will come back to you on that. But the reality is, we've had traders last week. They took opportunities in terms of this surge up, and then they've taken opportunities in terms of the surge down. But this week after that, stay out of this. This is horrible. There's plenty of other currencies that you can trade and take advantage of. So despite the fact that supposedly Greece is all unraveling itself, it's coming to a conclusion, it's going to sort itself out, it's still showing a huge amount of uncertainty out there in the marketplace. So despite what the news again is saying, it's still translating differently into reality. So opportunity at the moment is sell the New Zealand dollar against the US dollar and against the pound. Look for opportunities to possibly do the same on the Australian dollar, but certainly of the two, the New Zealand is the weaker. So there's a great trading tip, and we will catch you next week. Have a fantastic weekend and a good week ahead. Cheers from FountainFX. Bye-bye.